welcome back to PÖFF TV. I'm Miia, and we're right in the heart of the Black Nights Film Festival. Today, I have an amazing guest joining me, the director behind the film Wet Monday. Let's give a big, warm welcome to Justyna Mytnik. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thrilled to be here.
Nice. So, there is a bit of an Estonian involvement in this film, and I specifically want to ask you about the music. So how did it come to be that Erkki Pärnoja was chosen to compose the soundtrack for this film?
Yeah, it was a beautiful adventure with the Estonian co-producer for Wet Monday. I mean, we met Marianne Ostrat in Germany during a pitching forum, and that's how this relationship was born. And then she sent me like a list of 20 composers, and Erkki Pärnoja was chosen from that set. And yeah, it was a great collaboration. We met in Warsaw for the first time when he came over to visit and get the vibe of the team, of the project, and just to get to know each other. And then we worked long distance for a while, and eventually I came to Tallinn for almost 5 weeks, and we've been working on music together.
All right. So, to what extent are these ancient, like pagan traditions still observed in Poland? These folk holidays.
I mean, in general, I would say that the Easter celebrations in Poland are very much part of yearly celebrations with the palms and stuff like that. But for example, the Wet Monday itself is not as popular as it was in my youth. Still people do it, but more at home rather than in the streets. And when it comes to the colorful clothing, those masks and those costumes, that's actually like a very regional tradition. That's only present in the south of Poland and Śląsk in just a few cities. So I combined something regional with something specifically Polish.
How would you say it aligns with the country's strong religious observances?
Yeah, like that's actually something that fascinated me about Poland, is that Poland is like a very Catholic country and rather religious, but at the same time at home religion is very much blended with like the old folk rituals, and you can't really tell where's the boundary between religion and old folk rituals. So I actually was really interested in that blend, and even wanted to make it more prominent by adding the Marzanna burning. Marzanna is like a straw effigy that we burn in the end of winter to farewell the winter goddess and welcome the spring. And again, that's not something like people do, but that's something more children do, like in kindergartens or in schools, but that's still something that's on.
All right. What inspires you and inspires your creation of this magical realism? Maybe life experiences or art, media?
I guess many things. I mean, to start with, I've studied English literature and history of art in Edinburgh, and that's when I used to read a lot of novels. And Angela Carter, who's a British writer who's interested in like fairy tales about womanhood with female characters, but a lot of magic in them. So that was one of my big literary inspirations. But when it comes to like film, Pan's Labyrinth was my big inspiration, because that movie also like explores a very difficult theme of war and I guess trauma as well, combined with the word of fairy tales as seen through the eyes of a very young girl. And that movie also has this contrast between the youth and the drama. So of course we didn't have a similar budget, so the magical realism movie is like much smaller, or on a much smaller scale. But yeah, I guess those two are the big ones.
was there maybe a personal experience or event that prompted the creation of this film specifically?
Funnily enough, it was actually a visit to Mexico.
Oh.
Because I traveled there for a festival, and it was in October, which was near the Dia de los Muertos, which is like the Halloween of Mexico. And I remembered like walking around the streets and looking about and getting excited about all those like folk celebrations. I was like, this reminds me of Easter in Poland in some way. And sort of that was the moment when I like realized how exotic our own celebrations are, even though to us they're very normal.
Yeah.
But they are actually quite interesting. And I think that also had something to do with me living in the UK for many years, because of that, like I came to Poland to Easter like twice a year, and to me Poland was this land that I really missed, and I guess I saw it through some kind of different eyes.
Yeah. So what was the biggest challenge while filming this film?
I mean, I guess it's a very long list of challenges, but I mean, for starters, of course, I mean, the length of this process, like, I guess it was 7 years ago when I started working on the script. Yeah. And, you know, getting it financed and so on was very tricky because it's a debut, and it's also a relatively expensive debut for Poland. So that was rather hard. And I guess also like the challenges on set, of course, because even though the movie looks very sunny, we had like 4 sunny days during the shoot. And on the very first day of the shooting, like it was 10 degrees outside. The river was freezing. It was a mountain river, like very cold, and the actresses had to like run into the river and pretend it's warm and awesome. They got ill, so it was very hard. The whole crew was coughing, and every day it was more people sick. Like it was quite absurd with the weather. But I'm glad we got the sunny days on the days we really needed them.
Nice. So the relationship between two sisters is rather complex. How did the two actresses build this chemistry, and what was it like to watch them create this dynamic?
I guess I would say it boiled down to the length of time that they have spent together, and that I mean that the casting was done 2 years before the actual shoot, which is quite unusual, and had something to do with me being pregnant at the time of casting. So we just needed to like lengthen the whole pre-production process. And that means like I had the chance to like rewrite the script for the actresses, and also like we did like an acting script workshop with them like 1 year before the shoot. So there was actually a lot of time that I have spent with them, like making the script match their personalities. But also, like, we did a lot of rehearsals on the set with the cinematographer, so we had quite a lot of intimacy when, like, prepping the scene. So I think we just had the time to, like, build it.
All right. So how can we foster empathy and understanding when facing difficult times?
I guess, well, like, my main mission with this movie was to try to just show people that listening is enough. Like, you don't really need to do anything or fix anything for a person who's suffering or experiencing any sort of trauma, just as long as you're there and try to just accompany the person with whatever is happening. That's good enough. Like, and that's sort of who Diana is. I mean, Diana is the character who my protagonist meets and befriends, and she has that energy of just like staying in the moment, or trying to just accept the pain and accept whatever's difficult.
Would you say that's the key message you want audiences to take away from this film?
Yeah. Like I also wanted to highlight, I mean, what is secondary wounding, because I mean, secondary wounding is this process in which the person who has survived trauma sometimes becomes re-traumatized because of the way the closed ones or the society reacts. And I wanted to highlight that it's not only the actual traumatic incident that's the problem, but also the way the people are unable to support the person is creating sometimes just as much pain and suffering. And that's what Marta, or the mother of the main character, or the friends of the main character are sometimes doing, because they just don't know, are not skilled to react better, or they're too much in themselves, or too much overwhelmed by the culture, who's just telling girls to be more outgoing and more fun, or more extroverted. So I try to focus on that. Like, I try to actually focus on like what is sisterhood and how we as women are able or unable to support each other.
Yeah. All right. What a beautiful message, and thank you so much for coming here and sharing some insights into your film. And of course, thank you for tuning into PÖFF TV, and we'll see you next time. Bye.